Dark circles under your eyes. Have you been troubled by this for a while? A day doesn't go by in clinic where I am not told I look tired, I don't like my bags, I've got this discoloration. There's so much concern about people's eyes. And I would say it's probably the toughest area to treat and get the best results. And it's not usually just one treatment approach. My name is Chantal Ward, and I'm a registered nurse specializing in medical aesthetics. I'm here today to give you all the information that you need so that you can make sound decisions for yourself in your aesthetic journey. Under eye circles can be multifaceted. So we could have a loss of volume, we could have low blood flow or low lymphatic drainage. It could be skin tone. So, a genetic factor. You could have poor skin elasticity, or you've lost a lot of collagen in that area. So there are a number of reasons why we have these dark circles. Let's talk about the best treatment options based on how you present. The first things we do, like everything else, I'll ask you, what are you using for skincare? What are you using as an eye cream? 9 times out of 10 people have tried everything on the market, but they don't give it a fair chance. So if we were to start fresh, these are the few things that I think are really important for you to be doing at home. First of all, getting on a vitamin C. A vitamin C Ferulic, I know I've talked about this before, but I still think, in my opinion, for myself, the vitamin C Ferulic from SkinCeuticals is the best, because even if you get so close to your eyes, it does not sting. I've tried other vitamin C's and I've gotten close to my eyes and I thought I was going to die because it stung so much. Okay. So getting on a retinol that's going to boost the collagen around the eyes. Now, with the retinol, you definitely do not want to go close to the eye because that will sting, but you can get pretty darn close. So you just have to be mindful that when you're doing it on top of the bony prominence and not inside it. Okay. Niacinamide. Niacinamide is an ingredient that also helps to brighten. It brightens the skin and helps strengthen the barrier to the top layer of the epidermis. And as I mentioned, the skin around the eyes are so thin. And on some women who are older, it gets thinner as they age. Getting an eye cream, I've tried so many, but things that have caffeine in it, it constricts, something that is a little bit of an antioxidant. There are several good products on the market, ranging from anywhere from $180 to $300 for a 1 ounce or a half an ounce product. But find one that you like, stick with it, and use it every morning and every night. That's your at-home strategy. Now let's talk about in-clinic strategy for those eyes, those tired-looking eyes, the pigmentation, the lack of volume, and the elasticity. So if you are one of these young individuals that have the bag under your eye, we call it the jelly roll, and you've got what's called a good snap test, and I'm going to basically show you what a snap test is. If you have a good snap test and the skin bounces back, sometimes we can put 1 or 2 units of a neuromodulator in that area that gets rid of the jelly roll or the little sausage bag under the eye. So I'm going to show you the snap test, so don't judge me, okay? So here, if I grab my skin and I let it go, it takes a while to snap back, okay? So I'll do it again. It doesn't snap back. The skin kind of stays there like stretched out bubble gum. It doesn't bounce back. If you don't have that bounce back in your skin, usually young individuals have it. Anybody who's older that doesn't have that, I would never put Botox under there because you will get the saggy puppy eye look, okay? So Botox can be used, but in certain cases or certain individuals. Let's talk pigment. So we can target some of that pigmentation, but let me step back a bit. Why are you getting the pigment? Why is it showing? Is it your genetic makeup? Sometimes people with darker skin tones have that underlying darkness under their eyes that has been generational from generation to generation. Unfortunately, we can try to lighten it a little bit, but it's a lost cause. I know in my practice, I don't try to take people's money or do treatments because the results are very minimal to zero. Now, if you never had that and you developed it because of a number of reasons, it could be your health, it could be volume loss, it could be all those things that I've already talked about, then what I may do is look at, okay, do you have a loss of volume? Have you lost the strength or the structure of that top layer of the skin? Has it gotten really thin? If it has, then I need to choose if I'm going to do a dermal filler or if I'm going to do something like a PRP or a PRP natural gel, or a PRP with your own exosomes. And that is Health Canada approved. It's called MCT, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. But if you've lost volume and you've got that discoloration and you definitely have a crevice or a concaveness of the inner eye, then you are a candidate for dermal fillers. If we try to put dermal fillers in somebody who does not have a loss of volume, it becomes problematic. You end up getting this hydrophilic or swelling effect, and you look like you've got fat pockets under your eyes. And I'm sure if you're watching this video, you know of somebody or you may have experienced this, okay? If that happens, then we need to dissolve it with an antidote to dermal fillers. So having the right assessment and the right approach for the right situation under the eyes is key. Dermal fillers tend to be my last thing that I do. And it could be anywhere between, 0.02 of an ml, or it could be up to 0.05 or a half of 1 ml, okay? But again, it really depends. We talked about PRP. So PRP would be injected the same technique as a dermal filler, but we're taking this plasma that we've spun from your own blood, and now we're injecting it to make those cells potentially healthier underneath that thin skin. The second phase that we could do or add on is using what's called a natural gel. A natural gel is where we take your PRP, we put it through this mechanism to heat it up gently, and it makes it more of a gel product. Once again, we have to choose the appropriate patient for this natural gel injection, because if we put too much, it's going to look like you have dermal fillers and sausages under your eyes. Now, it will go away with time, but less is best in this case. We're going to do a little bit at a time, a few visits in a row, and get the best possible results. So we've talked PRP, we've talked PRP with NaturaGel. Now let's talk about PRP with the MCT. So what that is we're taking your blood, just like before, we're spinning it in a centrifuge, then we're taking that platelet-rich plasma and we're putting it into a device that's going to do what's called a photothermal biomodulation. So it's taking a little bit of heat, but not a lot of heat, with these special lights that actually change that plasma structure so that it extrapolates or it extracts the exosomes from it. So it's your own autologous exosome, so from your blood. And that is approved to be injected under the eye. So it's even better than just PRP. So we have these natural approaches in getting an improved state under the eye. So it may address the pigmentation. It will address the scaffold and the healthiness of the cell, as well as the circulation. Now, if someone has a lot of puffiness around their eyes, or they get a lot of bags under their eyes when they wake up, or just all day long, and they've been doing Botox for a long time, I will actually assess them, and I may not do Botox on them because that muscle, every time it contracts, acts as a lymphatic drainage. So I may stop doing Botox completely around the entire eye. I may do just a brow lift, but nothing around where the crow's feet are, because they need that muscle movement to get that fluid moving. Laser and light, we can use things to target pigment. We've got IPL. We've talked Pico. So Pico is where it shatters up the pigmentation. Any of these thermal light-based technologies actually help stimulate collagen with time. Now, we go at lower energies. We do different techniques to be safer around the eyes, but it can help. Doing skin tightening, so a radio frequency, where we would use special shields in the eyes that would allow us to treat the upper lid and the lower lid to get maximum contraction and building of collagen. So there are options. People have asked me about lipid or fat transfers. Fat transfers can be done in a surgical setting with a ENT facial plastic surgeon or a facial plastic surgeon. While they're doing liposuction, or if they're doing a facelift, they may take the fat from the submentum or the belly fat, or a little bit of fat from the buttocks. They spin it very similar to PRP, and they will inject that fat directly into areas to help with volumization. But it's your own genetic, it's from your body. So it's autologous. Lifestyle adjustment. Lifestyle adjustment is also a major thing. So people who have allergies and are constantly rubbing their eyes, do yourself a favor, get on a good antihistamine. There's some good long-term ones that you can be on every day during high seasons of allergies and allergens. Get good sleep. Daily SPF, keeping yourself hydrated. There are so many things you can do yourself, and then there's the skincare, then there's in-treatment or in-clinic treatments. If you've tried all these things and you're still not happy, it might be wise to go for a consult, and that's completely up to you. So in conclusion, treating dark circles, there's not a magic wand. We have many things that we can do to try to reduce the appearance of the dark circles, improve volume loss, improve elasticity, improve the texture of the skin. There's not just one thing. So I want to thank you for watching my video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below, and subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And I can't wait to see you next time. Bye now.